And, yeah, I'm sorry for the major delay in this video. But the reason I delayed it is because the same day I uploaded it, my girlfriend ended up breaking up with me. And, it's just been mentally hard for me to deal with a lot of other stuff. But, other than that, I'm back and I can finally publish and make this second part of the series. In fact, I actually thought of discontinuing it, but nope, it will continue. So, here is part 2 of all warnings, watches, and advisories issued by the National Weather Service that were either removed or were merged with another one. Let's start. Okay, so for this first one, I'm actually going to put it into one category thingy, but I'm going to cover both of them. Inland tropical storm watches and warnings, and inland hurricane watches and warnings. You're going to see real quick why these were removed. So, originally, inland tropical storm watches and warnings, their original intention was to be issued for further inland. For example, if, like, let's just say one were to be issued for Birmingham, Alabama, since it's so far from the coast, they would issue either an inland hurricane warning or an inland tropical storm warning. However, then there was an issue because a lot of the offices just issued them just because, and just because they weren't on the exact coast. So like inland Lee and inland DeSoto counties, for example. I'm just making stuff up, but and then it became an issue because the National Weather Service realized these weren't really that necessary. So the National Weather Service decided to remove them. The result was the merging of hurricane warnings and watches, tropical storm warnings and watches, with the inland versions. Also, I'm just going to throw in a fun fact just cause why not. Fun fact. In 2005, during Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Katrina's winds were so intense, so far inland, they almost issued a inland tropical storm warning as far in as Kentucky. Lake effect snow watch and advisory. A lake effect snow watch meant conditions were favorable for significant lake effect snow within the next 36 hours. And a lake effect snow advisory typically meant about from 3 to 5 inches of lake effect snow was possible. But on October 2nd, 2017, well, it kicked the bucket because of all of those other winter bulletins were all merged and stuff. Lake effect, snow, and blowing snow advisory. This also was the longest named WWA in history until it was replaced by the Lake effect snow advisory for lake effect snow and blowing snow. However, that was also removed in itself. Anyway, for the explanation, I'm also going to merge snow and blowing snow advisory for this. So, lake effect snow and blowing snow advisory and snow and blowing snow advisory both were issued when falling snow and blowing snow were expected to impact travel significantly. The only difference was that the lake effect snow and blowing snow advisory was issued when it was from lake effect snow. Basically mini blizzards. Both were removed in the 2008 to 2009 winter. Red flag watch. Well, as I was making this, I realized that was a mistake. A red flag watch is just what Iowa Mesonet calls a fire weather watch. Sleet warnings and sleet advisories. Okay, so this one is extremely obscure, but let me try. Okay, so a sleet warning, but mainly called a heavy sleet warning, meant heavy sleet accumulations from 1 to 2 inches or more were expected, which could cause significant disruptions to travel or utilities, and they were expected to occur within 12 hours or were imminent. Same thing with sleet advisories, except for they were only moderate sleet accumulations, 1/4 to 1 inch. Both were removed in the 2008 to 2009 winter. Snow advisories. A snow advisory meant periods of snow would primarily cause travel difficulties. The snow advisory was pretty useful. However, following the 2008 to 2009 winter, before, they decided to remove it and merge it with the winter weather advisory. And last but not least, wind chill. A wind chill warning meant dangerously low temperatures in combination with winds over 15 miles per hour were occurring. An advisory meant they were likely to occur, imminent, and a wind chill watch meant it was favorable. There are also particularly dangerous situation warnings of that, and let's just say they're very disturbing. In October 2024, however, the National Weather Service decided to change the wind chill warnings to extreme cold warnings. Why? Well, they stated simplicity. I'm also assuming this was the exact reason also why they changed the extreme heat warnings. I am not covering significant weather advisory because it's literally the same thing as a special weather statement. Plus, it was almost never used. Anyway, now that I'm finally finished with the series, I would like to thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this 2-part series. I may come out with a 3rd part though, because I did forget to include examples. Anyway, Storm out. Have a good day.